And get this game underway here from Dodger Stadium. Emmett Sheehan is now on the mound throwing his warm-up pitches. Dodgers trying to recover after last night's heartbreaking loss to get back in the win column. They won Friday in dramatic fashion in the ninth and huffed and puffed and fell a buck short last night trying to come back and win that game. So tonight, day game, rubber match game of the 3-game series as the Dodgers send out Emmett Sheehan to the mound to try to go after it. For the Orioles, they will have, let's see what they got leading off coming up. It'll be Ward, followed by Henderson, and then Pete Alonso, and Balsero, the catcher, if anybody gets on. Mayo's the DH, Crozier in center, Taveras in right, Alexander at third base, and Jackson is the second baseman. So that's how the Orioles line up in their batting lineup, facing Emmett Sheehan as he's about ready to get up there and go for it. The Dodgers, after this game, will be heading over to Minnesota for a 3-game homestand to take on the Twins Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They got Thursday off, and then they head to San Diego for a 3-game series, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that's a quick look at what the Dodgers got within the next 7 days coming up. And we're about ready to get this thing kicked off and underway here at Dodger Stadium. Taylor Ward about ready to get up to the plate. Ward comes in, hitting from the right side of the plate. Sheehan looks down, gets a long look. Robinson is behind the plate for the Dodgers today, given Rushing the day off. And the first pitch on the way is taken for ball 1. Fastball outside. First inning, just the start of things. Fastball just outside, ball 2. So 2 balls, no strikes. Ward hanging out, waiting in. Pitch. And it's a high fly ball. It'll be hit down to center and fall right in front of Pages for a base hit. So Ward is aboard with a base hit, and this game is underway with a hit off the first man to the plate. And that'll bring up Henderson. Henderson coming in. Pitch on the way, swung on and shot down to right field, and it's going to bounce one hop and into the stands for a ground rule double. And just like that, there's runners on third and second and the first 2 hitters of the game. The seats aren't even warm yet, and the Orioles are already in scoring position with 2 guys. Pete Alonso now coming up. The last time Sheehan pitched in this stadium, he was the hard luck pitcher and got chased in an inning and a third. A lot of that coming on a botched, missed foul ball that Kyle Tucker woulda, shoulda, coulda caught, but instead he dropped it, and that led to a whole lot of other downfall things that happened after that. The Dodgers went on to lose that game, and Sheehan only lasted an inning and a half, inning and a third. So the pitch to Alonso is taken for ball 1. Just the start of things here in LA. The third batter to the plate is Alonso, and we already have runners on third and second for the Orioles. Sheehan checks the runners, winds up, and the pitch is taken high for ball 2. Two balls, no strikes. Sheehan waiting in. Long look, and the pitch is outside. Nice backhand by Robinson behind the plate. Saved that ball, but it's a curve ball for a ball 3. So the Dodgers are one ball away from loading the bases with nobody out. No score, just the start of things here in Los Angeles. Sheehan checks over the runners at second and third. The 3-0 pitch swung on and fouled back and out of play. So 3-1 now the count to Alonso. Runners away from their respective bases, second and third. The pitch is way outside for ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Fastball missing. And suddenly, Sheehan has the bases loaded, no outs, and up comes the catcher, Balsero. And now Mark Pryor will go out there and have a few words with Sheehan. So this is a rough way to start a game, particularly the way he was shell-shocked in the last start here at Dodger Stadium. It was on a Sunday, in fact. So Sunday afternoon starts in Dodger Stadium should be put on the shelf for a while if he's going to be pitching like that. Okay, so Sheehan's first innings work is 6.92 ERA in the first inning. And he's on the brink of making that even worse right now. He's only thrown 9 pitches in this inning. Sheehan with a long look. And the pitch swung on, a little nubbler, hit foul along the first baseline. The changeup. So Basallo hitting .258, 10 home runs and 30 ribbies. He's had quite a series. Waiting in, the pitch. Swung on, there's a line shot just by Freeland into right field. In comes one run, a rounding third, and coming only one in. So they just move up 90 feet, and it's now 1-0 Baltimore. And they just move over everybody a base. So no outs, first inning, bases loaded, and up comes Mayo. So Kobe Mayo is the DH for this game today. Pitch is taken way inside, a slider for ball 1. Sheehan, long look, checks the runners. The 1-0 pitch, just a little inside for ball 2. Waiting on deck, Cowser, the center fielder. Pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. A nice aggressive swing right there by Mayo. He was going for the fences on that swing. 1-0 Orioles lead over the Dodgers. That coming just right now on a little base hit to right field. And the bases remain loaded. There's a shot. Foul. So that count is now 2-2. So Balsero's little nubbler into right field accounts for the lone run right now. Everybody moved up one base. And the bases remain loaded. No outs. 2-2 the count to Mayo. Sheehan just trying to get an out here and then go from there. 2-2 count, bases loaded, Orioles 1, Dodgers 0, and we're only in the first inning. In fact, we're only through the first 5 batters. Sheehan with a long look. The pitch is way outside for ball 3 on the slider, and he's one ball away from walking in a run. Cowser waiting on deck, center fielder. Three and two the count. 1-0 Orioles. The pitch low. They're going to check over at third. They're going to say swing and struck him out. Oh my. So Mayo tried to hold up on that check swing, and the first base umpire said nope, he went around. So that was a big break right there for the Dodgers. Otherwise they would have walked in a run had that been a ball. So the Dodgers get a reprieve there on that one, but only for a moment. Let's see how they play things on from this moment forward since they got that break. Here we go. 1 ball. Curveball is taken for a strike. So 1-0 Orioles lead. We're in the first inning. 1 out now. Bases remain loaded. And Cowser's to the plate. Cowser hitting in 67 games this far, 226, 7 home runs and 23 ribbies. Sheehan checks the runners on base, and now he's going to get off of the rubber. Take a little break and looking back in there. So let's go. Let's see what they're going to do here with the Dodgers. First, the pitch is swung on a high fly ball into Shower. It's going to drop into left field, and a run will score, but only 1 run, and it's now 2-0. That ball was too shallow, and by the time Ward picked it up in left field, 1 run had scored. Both the Dodgers and the Orioles both have left fielders with a last name of Ward, no relation. So Ryan Ward in left field for the Dodgers, and 1 run is in, and the Orioles now lead 2-0 over the Dodgers. Taveras now coming in. So Taveras has been snake bit the last 2 games in the bottom of the 9th inning. On Friday night, he had a ball hit to him and he overthrew everybody. The catcher, Balsero, didn't do him any favors by losing the ball, and he got the air, and the Dodgers got the win. Last night with 2 outs, Taveras got a ball that he should have caught. He dropped it. The Dodgers' hopes remained alive, at least for the next batter, and then he was out, and the Dodgers got out of there. So Taveras, the last 2 games back-to-back with 2 outs in the 9th have not been a picnic for him. He's waiting in now. The pitch on the way, swung on and fouled back and out of play on the fastball. It'll now be 1-2. 2-0 Orioles over the Dodgers. There's 1 out. 1-2 the count to Taveras. Bases loaded with 1 out. Sheehan looks in, and the pitch swung on, and a high fly ball foul and out of play, and the slider. Count remains 1-2. So for Taveras, who's hitting .255 this year, 2 home runs and 29 ribbies, he's got a big chance here to redeem himself. Swung on and missed, and down goes Taveras. So that is Sheehan's 2nd strikeout of the game, of the inning, and he went for definitely a ball on that one, high and outside. Taveras goes down swinging, and there's now 2 outs in the first inning, and Alexander comes to the plate. Alexander now playing third base. Played shortstop last night. He's playing third tonight. So let's see, the count is now no balls, 1 strike, bases loaded, 2 outs, Orioles 2, Dodgers nothing. There's a pitch, a changeup that bounces up to the plate. And now it's 1-1 count. Robinson behind the plate for the Dodgers. Filling in for Rushing, who was filling in for Will Smith. So a nice stop by Robinson. Alexander hitting .303, 2 home runs, 21 ribbies. He's been on a bit of a tear of late. Sheehan with a long look again. Pitch is high, very high for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike to Alexander. Sheehan has already thrown 27 pitches. He's got the bases loaded still. He's allowed in 2 runs. If he can get out of here just giving up 2 runs, that would be pretty good. The pitch on the way. Swung on, and a high foul ball waiting there is Freeman right there in foul territory. He's got it, and down go the Orioles. So the Dodgers get away cheaply enough because they had the bases loaded and only 1 out. They only allowed 2 runs in to score after a half an inning. Orioles 2, Dodgers nothing. I'll be right back after this very short timeout. Okay, back, ready for the bottom of the first inning. The lineup for the Orioles in the field, they'll have Ward in left field, Cowser in center field, Taveras in right. Third base will be Alexander. At shortstop will be Henderson. Jackson will be playing second base, and Alonso will be at first. Behind the plate, Balsero, and on the mound is Young. They got the DH of Mayo. And to set the Dodgers defensively, Ward will be in left field, Pages in center, Tucker in right. At third base, Bunsey gets the start back in there again. At third, Betts, the reliable Betts, will be at shortstop. Since he's been back, he's been there every game, it seems like, since. Freeland is back in there at second base. Freddie Freeman at first base. Behind the plate is Robinson, giving Rushing a little break. And on the mound is Sheehan. As you just saw or heard, he got out of that inning, fortunately enough, only allowing 2 runs. And Ohtani is the DH. And Ohtani is just about ready to come up to the plate right now for the Dodgers. So it'll be Ohtani, Pages, and Freeman. And if anybody gets on, Mookie Betts hitting 4th, Bunsey 5th, Tucker 6th, Ward 7th, Freeland 8th, and Chucky Robinson 9th. There's a pitch taken for called strike 1 to Ohtani. Ohtani waiting in, Brandon Young on the mound. His record is 5-2. He's had 11 starts so far. 44 strikeouts, 23 walks. Don't be fooled by the records. As we saw last night, Rogers had a horrible record coming into the game and pitched masterfully, limiting the Dodgers only to 1 hit. Meanwhile, the pitch on the way to Ohtani is taken for a ball, so 1-1 the count. Pitch on the way is low for ball 2. Splitter missing. Pitch on the way to Ohtani's outside. Ohtani hitting his 16th home run last night in the 9th inning. Gave the Dodgers some new life and a little hope that they just fell a buck short, losing 3-2 last night. Pitch on the way is taken low and for ball 4, and Ohtani is aboard. Good thing that the Orioles didn't contest that. It might have been a strike, and Ohtani would still be up there. So they didn't contest it. Ohtani's at first, and now comes Andy Pages to the plate. This season in 76 games, hitting .268, 15 home runs with 57 ribbies, and an on-base percentage of .0801. First pitch is a sinker fouled away. Pages waiting in the pitch. So Pages waiting in, and the next pitch is inside for ball one. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Pages waiting in. The 1-1 pitch on the way. He's taken for ball 2. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Orioles 2, Dodgers nothing. Two and 2 the count to Pages. Orioles 2, Dodgers nothing, but they got the leadoff man Ohtani on with a walk, and Pages is up there now, battling Young. And the 2-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed, and down goes Pages. So out number 1 for the Dodgers, and strikeout number 1 for Young. And up comes Freddie Freeman. This season in 74 games, Freeman hitting .272, 12 home runs and 40 ribbies with a .83 on-base percentage. Waiting in, the pitch, swung on. There's a line shot into right field. Ohtani's on his horse, rounding second, and let's see, he's going to stay there. So we got Ohtani at second, Freeman at first, 1 out, and the Dodgers getting a little something started right here. Coming up to the plate is Mookie Betts. Let's see if Mookie can keep this little rally going. Ohtani had to do a little Freddie Freeman dance just to get out of that shot as it blazed right past him. So 2 on, 1 out, bottom of the first inning, Orioles 2, Dodgers nothing, and Betts is to the plate. Strike on a fastball. Young looking in, checks the runners. No balls, 1 strike. The pitch is taken for called strike. Right down the middle for 0-2 count. Young, once again, trying to battle out. Here's a pitch on the way. Is taken low. Oh, strike 3. They got him. Betts looking, and down goes Mookie. He's going to go to the head and challenge, but I think he's going to be out. Let's see if I'm right on this one. The Dodger challenge is indeed strikeout. So strikeout number 2 for Young, out number 2 for the Dodgers in the bottom of the first. So now we've got 2 on with 2 outs. 2-0 the Orioles lead. And Max Muncy coming up. So Muncy's back in the starting lineup. Took a little bit of the night off last night, at least playing third at the start. And then they put him in the later innings as a pinch hitter in the 8th, and he stayed in for the rest of the game. He's out there today. Let's see, the pitch on the way is taken a little outside for ball 1, a curveball missing. 2 on, 2 outs. Dodgers trailing 2-0 to the Orioles. Waiting in, the pitch. Low for ball 2. Fastball just missing. Two balls, no strikes to Muncy. Pitch is taken for called strike. Curveball, strike 1. Two balls, 1 strike to Muncy. Young has now thrown 17 pitches. And number 17, Ohtani, takes the lead off a second. There's a pitch on the way. It's low, a splitter for ball 3. Waiting on deck is Ryan Ward, but right now it's all about Muncy. The pitch is swung on, and there's a shot. It's going to land in front of Ward in left field. Ohtani coming to the plate. He will score sliding, and now it's 2-1. And moving over, staying at second base, is Freeman. And Muncy drives home Ohtani, so now it's 2-1 score. A nice line shot opposite way hitting by Muncy. And Ohtani was cruising around, didn't look like he was going to make it, and he just slid and beat the throw easily, and the Dodgers are on the scoreboard just like that. Muncy doing the little Freddie Freeman dance at first, the original Freddie is at second, and the Dodgers now are within 1. Tying run is at second, and up comes Kyle Tucker. Tucker signed a 4-year, $240 million contract this offseason, has been a total disappointment for the Dodgers thus far, hitting .238, 6 home runs and 40 ribbies in 73 games. So there's a shot foul, the curveball, just a little dribble around the plate. So it's a 1-1 count. To me, personally, it's not so much that he's not hitting at the plate. It's just this nonchalant malingering in the outfield. And if not for the free-wheeling Pajes in center, there may be a lot more errors out there by Tucker and right. He's covering up for him. As we saw last night, there's a pitch outside, a splitter for 2 balls and 1 strike. There's no substitute for hustle, and you either have it or you don't, and Tucker doesn't have it. He's not a hustler. He's not a guy who's going to bust and give you 110 miles an hour with his hair on fire. He's just not. Pitch on the way, swung on and fouled away. And why they went for that big price after him, I don't know. You got to get a hustle guy. Put Hassan Kim out there. He's played some outfield. He'll light it up. So, anyways, let's see what Tucker does. Can he prove me wrong and have egg all over my face on this bat right here? I don't think so. The pitch on the way, swung on. There's a little ground ball taken to third baseman. He'll take it himself over to the bag, and down go the Dodgers. Alexander tags third, and the Dodgers are done, and so is Tucker. The score after 1 complete inning, the Orioles 2, the Dodgers 1. I'll be right back after this short break. Okay, so for the Orioles, who lead 2-1, Dodgers got 1 in that bottom of the first to cut their lead in half. Who do the Orioles have coming up now in the bottom of in the top of the second inning? They'll start with Jackson, the bottom of the 9th hitter, and then they go to the top of the lineup with Ward and then Henderson. If anybody gets on Alonso, let's see how Sheehan now responds. He had a rough go of it on his first inning. Let's see if he can settle down, as it shows that he does have a little rough first inning usually, the trend is, and then he settles in. Let's see if he can keep that going now and only allow the 1 hit. Or actually the 2 runs that he gave up the rest of the way. So he allowed 4 hits, 2 runs, and the Dodgers have 1 run and 2 hits. It's a beautiful day for baseball in Dodger Stadium. A few white puffy clouds out there, but for the most part it's 95% blue skies. So Sheehan back up on the mound. Looking in, facing Jackson. The pitch is outside. Fastball for ball one. Jeremiah Jackson in 61 games hitting .257. 7 home runs and 31 ribbies. Sheehan has now thrown 30 pitches. Hustle cannot be understressed enough. It is a major part of any sport you're going to play, and if you don't have it, you're losing on giving up a lot right then and there. Pitch on the way is way outside. Slider for ball two. 2 balls and 1 strike to Jackson. Ward waiting on deck. The pitch on the way is swung on, and a high fly ball. Freddie Freeman backs up at the edge of the grass. He's there. He's got it for out number 1 for the Orioles in the second inning. Orioles 2, Dodgers 1, just the start of the second inning. Orioles came up with 2 in the first. Dodgers got 1 in their first inning. And now Ward comes up, 1 for 1 with a single and a run. And Sheehan now has a second chance to get after this guy right now. What you gonna do, Sheehan? Pitch is outside, curveball for ball 1. Let's go, Sheehan, right now. Let's go after him. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch. Oh, swung on and missed. A lazy swing by Ward. So 1 ball, 1 strike. We're in the second inning. Dodgers trying to win this rubber match, win the series, and get out of here and fly to Minnesota after this game for 3 games. Sheehan, the pitch on the way, is swung on, and there's a high fly ball. Pages moving over, back to the warning track, to the wall. Whoa, what a catch by Pages. He falls down against the wall and rolls over, making the catch. A fantastic catch. No! Check that out. I was totally wrong. That ball's gone. Home run. Oh my, what an error on my part. Blew it. The way Pages acted as though he caught the ball. And I firmly believe Ward thought that was caught also, because he kind of jogged, and wow, no indication that that ball was out. Now taking a look at it again, now I see where the kid in the front row did get it. But my apologies. The score is now 3-1 on the solo home run by Ward. And now Henderson comes to the plate. Pitch is swung on and fouled away. Sheehan lasted an inning and a third his last start here on a Sunday for the Dodgers, and now he's trying to get out of the inning and the third that he's in right now. So 1 out for the Orioles, and they got that solo home run to get a 2-run lead. There's a strike right down the middle. 0-2 now. Totally my error. What a great play by Pages, selling it like it was that he caught it. There's a pitch that's lined into right field for a base hit, and Henderson's aboard. And now Sheehan has already given up 6 hits. Ouch. 3-1. Dodgers trail. But bigger concern are the hits that Sheehan has given up. Pete Alonso coming to the plate. Walked in his earlier at-bat. The pitch is low slider for ball 1. So 1 out, 1 on. Orioles 3, Dodgers 1 on the solo home run right bound by Ward. Alonso wading in. The pitch right down the middle for called strike 1. Fastball. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Pete Alonso. Dodgers need to shoot 2 right here and get out of this inning. Pitch swung on and missed. for strike 2. So 1-2 the count now. 1-2 the count to Alonso. 1 out, 1 on, 3-1 Orioles lead. We're only in the 2nd inning. Here we go. 1-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled back. One ball, 2 strikes to Alonso. 3-1 Orioles over the Dodgers. Sheehan looking in, and the 1-2 pitch is swung on. There's a ground ball hit to Betts. He booted it. He goes over to Freeland. They force out at second, so there's an out. But that was an unusual play. Let's see how that, watch that replay again. The ball was hit down to Betts. He kind of booted it, but then shoveled it over to Freeland, and they were able to get the force out. The ball came up, hit off of the top of his wrist, knocked off his hat. Freeland picked up the dribbler, kept his foot on second base for the force out, and the Dodgers were very fortunate on that one to get the force out. Should have, in all practical purposes, be out of this inning. The same thing happened to Emmett Sheehan last time here at Dodger Stadium, when Kyle Tucker dropped a foul ball, and then the inning extended and a whole lot of things ensued after that. Let's see if the Dodgers can get out of this without that happening to them that happened last time. They're not counting that as an error, because they did get the fielder's choice. There's a ground foul on the changeup. Basayo to the plate. 0-2 the count. So 0-2 the count. We're in the 2nd inning. 3-1 Orioles with 1 on and 2 outs. Sheehan waiting in. And the pitch on the way. Swung on a high fastball, and down he goes. And that'll do it for the Orioles in the top of the 2nd inning. The score after 1.5, the Baltimore Orioles 3, the Dodgers 1. Unbelievable. Mookie Betts, so he made a big error last game. Well, not last game, he made a big error to blow the perfect game from Yamamoto, and his error, which was not actually called an error, but his little blunder didn't cost the Dodgers now, so they got away with it cheaply enough, striking out the next hitter. So that'll do it for them. For the Dodgers, they'll have Ward coming up, leading off the bottom of the 2nd inning. Let's see if they can rebound. Right now, a bit of a sloppy play for the Dodgers starting out on this Sunday after losing last night. They got to be able to shake it and just not waiting for something to be gifted to them like it had been in the last couple of games, at least in the 9th inning. So Ward will be leading off, followed by Freeland, and then Chucky Robinson will be coming to the plate. Chucky has yet to take an at-bat yet as a Dodger this year, so we'll see what he can do, and all about him getting the start today. Chucky Robinson, in case you're wondering, he's a 31-year-old, 6-foot, 215-pounder out of Danville, Illinois. And Dodgers just about ready to start it off. Next promotional game, Tuesday, July 7th, Hawaiian Shirt Night. Exclusive Dodger Hawaiian shirt with purchase of a ticket package. So you got to get that ticket package with other games included in order to get that shirt. Anyways, back to live action. Ryan Ward swinging in this season in 16 games, 239, 3 home runs and 11 ribbies. The pitch on the way is high for ball 1. "3-1 Orioles lead. We're only in the second inning. A lot of stuff has happened. At least Sheehan got out of that second inning, something he was unable to do in his last start here at Dodger Stadium. The pitch is taken right down the middle for a called strike 1. Fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike to Ward. Dodgers trying to get some runs here on the board against Young. Cannot afford to fall too far behind. Swung on and missed a fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ward. Dodgers fortunate to get themselves a run in the bottom of the first. Pitch is high for ball 2. The pitch on the way is taken fouled and out of play. Welcome in, Victor, in the chat. The blue, and also Ann's Kitchen is also aboard. Thank you too for participating in the chat. The chat is open. Speak Dodger baseball or Oriole baseball, whatever may be your fancy in this Sunday afternoon. 3-1 Dodgers trail to the Orioles. A pitch swung on and a high foul ball. Moving over is the third baseman, taking a look, and it'll be back up into the stands. Alexander at third couldn't get it, 2 rows back. So the chat is open for all to enjoy on this Sunday afternoon, a beautiful Sunday afternoon at Dodger Stadium. Orioles 3, Dodgers 1. 2-2 the count to Ward. The pitch swung on and fouled away and out of play. Two and two the count. The pitch still a little high for ball 3, a fastball missing. So now, no outs. Ward leading off the inning, 3-2 count, trying to get on base and leave it to the bigger boys to bring him home. There comes a pitch on the way, swung on, and a high fly ball hit out to right field. Taveras, he's under it, he's got it for out number 1. So 1 out for the Dodgers. And that'll bring up Alex Freeland. So Freeland has settled in at second base this season in 54 games, hitting .233, 3 home runs and 17 ribbies. With a .64 on-base percentage of pitches outside for ball 1. So why they chose to go for Freeland over Ha-Seong Kim, I don't know. But the bigger question is, why did they pay Kyle Tucker $240 million for 4 years? He's not a hustler. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get back to live action here. 3-1, Dodgers trail with Freeland to the plate. 1 out. 2-0 count. The pitch on the way. Right down the middle for called strike 1, a fastball. Waiting on deck is Chucky Robinson. Pitch on the way to Freeland is swung on and fouled back and out of play. 2-2 the count. If you're enjoying the broadcast, please hit the thumbs up button. That'll help promote and get more people into this watch party. If you'd like to see more of my play-by-play, subscribe to the channel as well. It is free to subscribe. Young, now the pitch is taken for ball 3, so it's a 3-2 count to Alex Freeland. 1 out. We're in the second inning. Dodgers trailing 3-1. Here's the pitch. Swung on and a little nubber foul. Count remains 3-2. So Young's been working out there. He's pitched 39 pitches. We're only in the second inning. One out in the second, 3-1 Orioles lead. Here's way inside for ball 4, and Freeland is aboard with a walk. And up comes Chucky Robinson, his debut as a Dodger, hitting at the plate. So here comes Chucky Robinson. In AAA this season, hitting .260, 2 home runs and 18 ribbies, hitting an on-base of .76. But those are AAA numbers. This is the big leagues. First pitch is taken for called strike 1, a sinker. What you gonna do, Chucky? First time as a at bat for the Dodgers. Time to stake your claim right here. Let them know who you are and what you're all about. Pitch is taken for called strike 2, a sinker. Let's go, Chucky. Make it happen right now. 0-2. You got nothing to lose. You got 1 on, 1 out. Dodgers trailing 3-1, and Chucky to the plate. The pitch, low and slider for ball 1. Chucky, old school, going with no batting gloves, picking up dirt and rubbing it in his hands. No rosin, no batting gloves. This is man-to-man, mano-to-mano at the plate. Chucky Robinson waiting in, right-hand side. 1-2 the count. The pitch, swung on and missed, and down goes Chucky on his first bat as a Dodger, falling to a sinker. And that's the 3rd strikeout for Young. And the Dodgers now have 2 outs in the second inning. And now comes Ohtani. Ohtani walked in his first at-bat, later came around and scored for the Dodgers' lone run. So Ohtani looking in. Left-hand side of the plate. What you gonna do? Pitch is taken for called strike 1, a splitter. So Young, showing no fear, pitching his game, even though he's thrown already 45 pitches. Pitch on the way, swung on and missed by Ohtani, a high fastball. 0-2 is the count. Bet you Young won't try that high-riding fastball again. Let's see if he's going to try it. Try to fish it past Ohtani and see it wind up in right field. Here we go. Young waiting in. 2 outs, the 0-2 pitch. Swung. There's a outside slider and foul. So 0-2 the count to Ohtani. Young has thrown 47 pitches already. 2 outs, 1 on. Dodgers trailing 3-1. Ohtani hanging tough, waiting at the plate. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on. There's a ground ball hit up by the diving second baseman. It'll land past into center field, picked up by Crozier, thrown in, but Ohtani's aboard with a base hit, and Freeland moves over to third base. So now it comes a little more interesting. We got runners on the corners with 2 outs, and up comes Pages. That ball just seemed to have eyes, getting by a diving Jackson and winding up into center field, and the Dodgers now have 2 on with 2 outs. Pages struck out in his last plate appearance, but he's a whole lot different hitter when he's got men in scoring position as he does now. There's a pitch swung on and missed. So Pages can get rich in a hurry here. He's got 2 on. 2 outs. Dodgers trailing 3-1. High for ball 1, fastball missing. And that was Young's 50th pitch so far this game. 1-1 the count to Pages. 3-1 Dodgers trail. The pitch is taken for called strike 2 on a sinker. Let's go, Pages. Make it happen right now. Better to start in early on your runs, on your rally, instead of putting it off to the end. And the 1-2 count. Pages waiting in. Young delivers and just misses. It's now 2-2. Two and two, 2 on, 2 outs. Young has thrown 52 pitches, and the pitch swung on and missed, and down goes Pages and the Dodgers. So what looked like could have been a promising inning ends with no runs scored and only 1 hit. The score after 2 complete innings: Orioles 3, Dodgers 1. I'll be right back after this very short timeout. Okay, so we move into the top of the 3rd inning. Dodgers trailing 3-1, and up comes the Orioles. They'll be bringing up Mayo, Cowser, and Taveras. The first 3 hitters. Alexander will be 4th hitting if anybody gets on. And the Dodgers look a little lackadaisical, not really getting much. Again, it's uncertainty. Is it tough pitching that the Orioles have been throwing out there against him, or are the Dodgers just a little off? Keep in mind, the Orioles this season have a 36-42 score here, record. Here's a pitch taken for called strike 1. So it's not like the Orioles are lighting the league on fire or anything. Dodgers, meanwhile, are 49-28. So the Dodgers should be blowing out on paper these Orioles, but the Orioles are hanging in there tough. There's a pitch taken for called strike 2, a slider. So 0-2 the count to Mayo. Orioles 3, Dodgers 1. Sheehan, his pitch on the way, just a little outside for ball 1 and a slider missing. On deck for the Orioles is Cowser, the center fielder. One ball, 2 strikes to Mayo. Long look in by Sheehan, and the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, and down goes Mayo. So that'll be Sheehan's 4th strikeout. And he looks like he might start to be settling down now. High riding fastball that Mayo went for. And now with 1 out comes Cowser to the plate. Cowser 1 for 1, RBI and single so far in this game. Sheehan's thrown 50 pitches. The pitch on the way is low and inside for ball 1. Fastball just missing. Colton Cowser, hitting .231, 7 home runs and 24 ribbies. Pitches inside for ball 2. Slider missing. Waiting on deck is Taveras for the Orioles, who lead 3-1 in the 3rd inning. The 3-1 pitch, taken for called strike. And now they're going to go to a challenge here. Let's see what they're going to do with this one. Orioles challenge, and it's going to be what? Very close. They're going to zoom in, and it is indeed a strike. Call confirmed, 2-1. That's got to make the ump feel good when he just gets it right in there, and it's egg on your face as the hitter who wanted the challenge. Anyways, 2-1 the count. Pitch taken high for ball 3. So 3-1 the count. Cowser with an RBI single in that 1st inning. The pitch on the way. Taken for called strike 2. Now the count suddenly full. Three to 1 Orioles over the Dodgers. We're only in the 3rd. Sheehan looks as though he's starting to settle down now. Let's see what he's going to do with this pitch. This will determine where he's going to. A high fly ball hit the dead center. Back goes Pages, away back to the wall and gone. So just as I spoke too soon that pitch was going to determine the type of day it was going to continue to be for Sheehan, it goes deep and out and over, and it's now a 4-1 lead, a 406-foot home run launched out of here at a 33-degree angle. Orioles lead 4-1, and Sheehan is beside himself as that was launched to deepest part, 404 feet away and out of here to dead center. So here's Taveras trying to bunt for a single. That goes way into the Dodger dugout for strike 1. Orioles 4, Dodgers 1, and the hill comes a little bit steeper for them to try to climb to get back in this. The pitch swung on and missed. Changeup 0-2. So just as you thought that Sheehan might be starting to turn the corner and put it all together, he gives up a solo home run. Sheehan has yet to pitch an unscored inning so far. He gave up 2 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd. And that's where we're at in the 3rd inning. Pitch is high for ball 1. Dodgers, on the other hand, only got 1 in the 1st, and that's where we're at. 4-1. 4 runs, 7 hits for the Orioles. The pitch swung on, lined foul. 1-2 the count. Sheehan has now thrown 60 pitches, 6-0. 1-2 the count to Taveras. 4-1 Oriole lead. Pitch is outside, changeup missing for 2-2 count. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Taveras, hitting .254 this far into the season. The pitch swung on, and a high fly ball. Pages says he's got it into mid-center field. He does have it for out number 2. So 2 outs now for the Orioles. And up comes Alexander. He's hitting .301 on the year, 0 for 1 in his first at-bat. Comes in hitting from the right-hand side of the plate. Looking to get something started. Fouled out in his first appearance. The pitch is swung on and fouled away. Sheehan has now thrown 63 pitches. Once again, if you're enjoying this broadcast, please give it a thumbs up. It helps promote this game to send it out to other people to come in and watch it. The 0-1 pitch on the way is taken high for ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sheehan with a long look down to Robinson behind the plate. The pitch swung on. There's a shot right up the middle into center field by a hustling Freeland. Picked up by Paez and thrown in. So there's a man aboard there. Sharp single right into center. Sheehan has thrown 65 pitches. Jackson now to the plate, popped up in his first at-bat. We're in the third. Orioles 4, Dodgers 1. 2 outs in the third and 1 on for the Orioles. Swung on and missed. That ball wasn't even close to Jackson. His swing, don't know what he was looking for in that one. That ball was way outside in the dirt, and Jackson was swinging it like it was right down the middle of the plate. So 0-1 the count to Jackson. The pitch. Oh, check swing held up smartly. That ball was outside as well. So a slider missing, and the count is now 1-1. One and one the count. Sheehan with a long look into Robinson. The pitch is in the dirt. Slider missing for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Two balls, 1 strike, 4-1 Orioles in the third. 1 on, 2 outs. That's the table. It's set. The pitch swung on. There's a ground ball hit sharply down to Betts. He shovels it underhands to Freeland at second, and down go the Orioles. That'll do it for the Orioles in the top of the third. The score remains Orioles 4, Dodgers 1. We'll be back with Freeman, Betts, and Muncy coming up, trying to get something started here for the Dodgers in the bottom of the third. Be right back after this brief timeout. Okay, so back for the bottom of the third inning for the Dodgers. They got the heart of the order coming up. You got Freeman, Betts, and Muncy. They got to get something started here. The Dodgers trailing 4-1, cannot afford to fall back any further behind in this game. They got to at least start to answer back some of these runs have been giving up. Trailing 4-1. Welcome in, Andrew, to the chat. Let's go Dodgers is exactly right. Let's go Dodgers and do it right now. After today's game, the Dodgers leave Los Angeles, head over to Minnesota for 3 games, and then they have a well-deserved day off coming on Thursday. Then they fly to San Diego and take on the Padres for 3 games, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then they head over to Vegas to take on the Athletics, the A's, for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So the Dodgers will be busy and on the road for the next 3 homestands. There you go, Andrew. Let's go Dodgers. Dodgers trying to win this series. Promotional coming up if you're in town, July 6th. Freddie Freeman, 18th inning walk-off bobblehead, Monday, July 6th at 7:10 against the Rockies. First 40,000 fans get the traditional Freddie Freeman with his hands held high in the air for the Freddie Freeman dance. Okay, back to live action. Freddie Freeman to the plate, 1 for 1 with a single earlier in this game. The pitch on the way is taken high for ball 1. Pitch on the way is high. To answer your question, new to YouTube, not so much. Have the channels been going for the past 6 years, but new to actually calling games, yes. So a yes and no to answer to your question. Thanks for tuning in and hanging out, spending part of your Sunday afternoon with us, Andrew. So the count is now 3-0 to Freeman. Pitch is taken for called strike right down the middle. So 3-1 now the count to Freeman. Baltimore 4, Dodgers 1. There's a line shot down to the second baseman, fielded sharply, thrown over to Jackson, throws over to Alonso for the first out of the inning. Freddie Freeman. So Freeman makes the out, and now comes up Mookie Betts. Muncy on deck. So the Dodgers got some work to do to stay competitive in this game, and it's got to start now. Otherwise, they're going to start falling behind in their runs, 4-1 trailing. Mookie struck out in his last plate appearance, hitting .216 now with 8 home runs. Here's the pitch, taken outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Mookie. Mookie wading in from the right-hand side of the plate. The pitch, way high, ball 1. Ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike to Betts. Young has now thrown 61 pitches for the Orioles. The pitch on the way, swung on, missed. 2-2, a slider. Mookie wading in. Let's go. Let's get it going. Pitch fouled away and out of play. 2-2 the count. On deck waiting is Max Muncy. What you gonna do, Mookie? The pitch. Swung on and fly ball. Out goes a shortstop, second baseman. It's going to land in front of Cowser in first base for a base hit, and Mookie is aboard safely. Okay, so now you have 1 on. Muncy to the plate. Let's see if the Dodgers can get some kind of a rally started right now so they don't have to work so hard in the later innings to try to come back. Jackson gave it his all running out from second base. Cowser running hard in from the center field, and the drop just in between the both of them. Muncy now 1 for 1 with an RBI single, standing up there now waiting in for the pitch from Young. The pitch is taken outside for ball 1. Hope you subscribe to the channel, Andrew. Looking forward to seeing you and listening to your chat in other games to come. Right now it's 4-1 Orioles over the Dodgers. Here's the pitch, swung on, and high fly ball. Moving over is Jackson at second. There's Alonso at first. Jackson will make the catch in foul territory for out number 2, and staying at first base is Betts. Now there's 2 outs, and up comes Kyle Tucker. Tucker coming in, 0 for 1, grounded into a fielder's choice, hitting .237, 6 home runs and 40 ribbies. Let's see what you're going to do. Tucker swung on and fouled away. So, you know, you could talk about not hitting to where you'd like to hit, but there's no substitute for hustle. I've said it before and we'll say it over and over again. And the body language. There's a pitch lazily fouled away and out of play, and the count is now 0-2. And Tucker finds himself behind the 8 ball. 2 outs, 3rd inning, 1 on. and the count is 0-2. Young looking over, checks the runner at first. Looks down to get the sign. The pitch just a little high and outside. A fastball missing. So 1-2 the count to Kyle Tucker. The pitch on the way is taken outside. Splitter for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Thank you very much for the subscribe, Andrew. Appreciate the help along the way. 8+ for you for the day. Let's see if Kyle Tucker can answer the bell and do something here positive. 70 pitches Young has now thrown. Here's the windup, the pitch. There's a ground shot down to the second baseman. Jackson throws over to the shortstop, and down go the Dodgers on the force out. And the Dodgers are done in the 3rd inning. The score after 3 complete in Los Angeles, the Orioles 4, the Dodgers 1. Be right back with the top of the 4th inning right after this brief break. Okay, back for the top of the 4th inning. The Dodgers trailing 4-1. They've yet to have a inning that they didn't give the Orioles didn't score any runs on. Orioles scored 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, and now we're up the top of the 4th. Orioles against Emmett Sheehan have 4 runs, 8 hits. The Dodgers against Young, 1 run, 4 hits, and no errors. So Dodgers got some ground to make up and start getting to busy on it right now, as Ward will be coming up. You're right, Andrew. Come on, Dodgers. You got to come back. You got to do it today. You got to win this series and have a nice, happy flight going to Minneapolis to take on the Twins tomorrow in the next 3 games. There's a pitch outside. So Ward got the best of Sheehan in his last at-bat, a solo home run. And Sheehan has now thrown 71 pitches on this sunny Sunday afternoon. Taken for called strike 1, so it's a 1-1 count. Taylor Ward 2 for 2, a single, a solo home run, scoring 2 runs in the afternoon. Pitch is outside for ball 2. So Ward has scored more runs by himself than the entire Dodger team up to this moment. Orioles 4, and 2 of those runs have been scored by Ward. The Dodgers 1. Sheehan with a long look down to Robinson, the catcher behind the plate. The pitch is taken low for ball 1. Sheehan with a long look down, and the 3-1 pitch way outside for ball 4, and Ward is aboard for the 3rd straight time. No word on what's happening in the Dodger bullpen up to now. At least they haven't panned over a shot there. 74 pitches Sheehan's thrown, and up comes Henderson. He is also 2 for 2. Gunnar Henderson, a double and a single as well, the same thing that Ward had. Actually, Ward had a home run, but they're both 2 for 2. Here's a pitch high and away for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch is outside and high, a changeup missing for ball 2. "76 pitches Sheehan's thrown. Now Mark Pryor moving around in the dugout like he's going to get on the phone to the bullpen. Let's see who he gets up. 2 balls, no strikes. The pitch swung on and fouled away along the first baseline. No outs. We're in the 4th inning. Dodgers trailing the Orioles 4-1 in the 4th. Sheehan checks over at first at Ward. And the pitch swung on, and a high fly ball waiting under it is Betts. It's short along the edge of the grass, makes the catch for out number 1. And now there's 1 out. 1 on, and up comes Alonso, Pete Alonso. 0 for 1 this afternoon. Alonso, former New York Met, hanging out, waiting up to the plate. Looks at Sheehan. And the pitch. Taken low, a curveball for ball 1. Let's go, shoot 2 right here. Double play. Double play needed right now, right here. Let's go, Sheehan. Pitch is low for ball 2. Slider missing. Two balls, no strikes. Pitch way high for ball 3. Slider missing badly. 4-1 Orioles over the Dodgers. We're in the 4th inning. 1 out, 1 on, and Alonso's got a 3-0 count. You know he's waiting fastball right here. Let's see what Sheehan's going to serve him up. Pitch is just a little outside and low for ball 4. So Alonso's aboard. Sheehan has thrown 82 pitches up to this point. Orioles 4, Dodgers 1, 2 on now. 2nd and 1st, 1 out. And up comes the catcher, Bacero. And now, showing in the Dodger bullpen, Jack Dreyer gets up, the lefty. Dreyer hasn't fared too well in his last few outings. Blowing a save here, blowing a win there. Let's see what he's going to do. And with all the talent the Dodgers have, why they continue going to the same guys that just don't seem to produce. Not sure if that's because they're paying these guys a lot of money and they have to put them out there, or they don't. Well, anyways, here comes Dave Roberts now. He's going to come with a hook right now and take Sheehan out. He's seen enough. 82 pitches. He's walked another man. It's been a hot Sunday afternoon, and it'll be a disappointing start for Emmett Sheehan. He gave up 4 runs, 8 hits. He's got 2 men on base that are still on his tab. And let's see if they're going to Jack Dreyer. Looks like that may be the man. That's the only guy they showed warming up. And there'll be a brief timeout here for a pitching change. The Dodgers, after today, head on over to Minnesota to take on the Twins for 3 games. Have a 3-game road trip. I guess you could say, well, they'll be on the road for 9 games, 3 in Minnesota. They get a day off on Thursday, and then 3 in San Diego, and then they go straight to Vegas to take on the A's for 3 games. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then they return home to take on San Diego on Thursday. So that's a brief, quick look at what the Dodgers got going on the next couple of weeks. and they have a weekend homestand with the Padres. So the Dodgers will be all over the map, but you got to get this win today. Go to Minnesota knowing you won the series. Make that flight a 4-hour flight, not so long, with a victory under your belt, winning the series, and take on the Twins. Otherwise, you go away knowing that you lost 2 of 3 games to a team that isn't even doesn't even have a 500 record. They're hitting, what's their record right now? 36-42. So if they lose today, they will have lost to a team 5 games below 500. So that'll do it for Emmett Sheehan. 3 in the 3rd innings he pitched, gave up 8 hits, 4 runs. There's still 2 men on base that belong to him, and here comes Jack Dreyer to the mound. So Dreyer in 29 games has a record of 3-1, 30 innings he's pitched. He struck out 33, giving up 6 walks, and allowed 6 home runs. That's not a stat you want to see from a reliever, especially with 2 men on. He gives up a shot here. The Dodgers are buried. Pitch on the way is outside to Balacero for ball 1. 4-1 Orioles lead over the Dodgers, but they got 2 men on and 1 out. They're going lefty on lefty action. That may explain why they brought in Dreyer. Pitch swung on and missed. Big swoop and swing by Balacero. So it's 1-1 count now. 1 on, 2 outs. Let's go Dodgers. Shoot 2 right now. Double play. Make it happen. Will it into existence. Pitch is low, slider missing for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out in the 4th inning, but 2 men on, and the Orioles lead 4-1. Two and 1, the count, swung on and missed. Nice slider. Okay, so now the Dodgers are 1 strike away from having 2 outs in this 4th and flipping the script. Let's see, what you gonna do, Dreyer? The pitch on the way. Right down the middle for strike 3, got him, looking. So that was a big out, big out indeed, pitching to Dreyer. Dreyer pitching to Bolero to get him. A 95-mile-an-hour fastball, and the umpire seemed to give that a little bit more of an extra twitch to it indeed. And up comes Mayo. Mayo's 0 for 2, hitting 190. So definitely Dreyer can beat this guy right here. Let's go. Let's go after it. Pitch is low. They're going to check over to first. Is that half a swing? And they're going to say, yes, it was a swing. So there's a strike. So it's 0-1 the count now. Dreyer, check that. Mayo tried to hold up as he might, but he could not do it. So 2 runners on. Mayo ward away from first. A swing and a miss at a curveball. He was going for that one. And now the count is 0-2 to Mayo. Wow. Big Mayo up there looked like Dave Kingman of years ago, trying to park that one into deep left field. Came up empty, 0-2. Looked like Kingman also swinging and missing. 0-2 the count to Mayo. Dreyer looking in. Checks over the ward at second. The pitch in the dirt, bouncing for ball 1, missing with a slider. So it'll be a 1-2 count. Waiting on deck is Kauser, the center fielder. 4-1 Orioles lead. And Dreyer trying to get himself and the Dodgers out of this mess that Emmett put him in. The pitch. It's a curveball for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dreyer looking down. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and shot. Foul. we go. 2-2 the count. Mayo to the plate. Dreyer has thrown 10 pitches so far. Here we go. The pitch in the dirt for ball 3. 90-mile-an-hour slider missing, and the count is now full. He's one ball away from walking. The bases loaded. Orioles 4, Dodgers 1. Cowser on deck. Mayo to the plate. The pitch low for ball 4, missing with a curveball, and now the bases are loaded. Here we go. Mr. Fred says, "Let's go Orioles." So welcome in, Mr. Fred, into the friendly confines of the chat room. We got an Oriole fan, and we got the Orioles with a 4-run lead. So Mr. Fred has totally earned the right to talk his smack thus far into this game, with Colton Kosher coming to the plate, and the bases loaded. 2 for 2 with a single and a home run. So here we go. Dreyer now trying to work himself out of this jam. Lefty on lefty action. Bases are loaded with O's. The pitch low for a ball. So Cowser is a bit of a hot streak right now, hitting a solo home run to dead center field in his last plate appearance. And now he's up there with a chance to really lay the big hurt on the Dodgers, laying off that fastball right there for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Cowser waiting in with a single and a home run and 2 ribbies in this game. The 2-0 pitch swung on and fouled back and out of play. Well, I'll never forget when the Orioles, years ago, maybe before you were born, started the season, 0-20? The first, and they were saying that's why they're called the O's. And that was kind of the laughing stock of baseball back then. But the O's have, swung on and missed a high-riding fastball. So 2-2 now the count to Cowser. Of course, me being an old guy, I go back to the days of Earl Weaver and Brooks Robinson, even before that, when they had quite a team with Jim Palmer and those 70s teams. So Orioles, they shall rise again eventually one day. Here's a ground ball hit sharply into center field for a base hit, and in comes some more Orioles. 1 run is in. Rounding third and sliding head first into home plate for another run is Pete Alonso. And the Orioles now lead 6-1 on a base hit up the middle into center field by Cowser. And Dave Roberts is sitting stony silence and quiet. And those 2 guys that belong to Emmett Sheehan have now officially scored. And you can now close the books officially on Sheehan, because those are the 2 guys that were outstanding on the bases that belonged to him. And now the rest is Jack Dreyer's. He's now got 2 on that belong to him, and they're safe, and the Orioles now lead 6-1. And Mr. Fred is on his feet plotting with all his might. Meanwhile, the Dodgers now got some work to still do as Taveras is to the plate. Ball 1 to Taveras. 6-1 Orioles lead. We're in the 4th inning. 2 outs. The pitch is outside for ball 2. So still plenty of time for the Dodgers to come back in this game. The game is young enough, but as they fall behind now by 5 runs, that mountain starts to climb heavier and heavier like Mount Everest. Dreyer looking in. The pitch on the way is taken for a called strike 1. Curveball, 2-1 count. Very good, Brooks Robinson. So Mr. Fred was around in 75 to remember the amazing Brooks in the hot corner at third base. There's a ball, so it's 3 balls and 1 strike. They also had Belanger, the shortstop, used to have that eye black under his eyes. Remember those Orioles fondly way back then. 3-1, the count is taken for called strike 2 as Taveras was trying to walk to first base, and let's see what it is. It's a full count. He took off his apparel. I think he thinks that's going to be a ball to challenge. It's a strike all the way, so Taveras has to put back on his armor and head back up to the plate again. Umpires really don't like that when you, as a hitter, start to throw your bat and take off your shin guards and or whatever the, not shin, but the arm guards that you're leading them. That's a good way not to get something close. Let's see what's going to happen here. Pitch is swung on and missed, and down goes Taveras. The ball comes away from Robinson. He throws over to first to Freeland, and that'll do it for the Orioles, but not until they score a couple of more runs in the fourth inning and make this comeback even that much more difficult. The score after 3.5 innings in Los Angeles, the Orioles 6, the Dodgers 1. We'll be right back after this very short timeout. Okay, so as the Dodgers now desperately trying to work their way somehow back into this game, they'll go up there with the bottom of the order of Ward, Freeland, and Robinson, the catcher. 6-1 Orioles lead. The Orioles have been all over the Dodgers. It's a pitch taken for called strike one to Ward. Fastball. And Young has thrown 72 pitches, and he has hung in there. He's pitched, wow, when you look up, he's pitched really well. Didn't look like he was doing that well at the start of the game, but he's just hung around, and he's still around here in the bottom of the fourth inning. One and one, the count to Ward. Orioles 6, Dodgers 1. We're in the fourth. Here's a shot foul and out of play. A happy Father's Day to all of you out there, wherever you may be. Nice joke, funny, good deal. Thank you very much, Fred. And looks for radio. You got a face for radio. Here we go. Pitch on the way, swung on and missed. And that'll do it for Ward. And up comes Alex Freeland. Freeland walked today. He was aboard with a walk. Young, meanwhile's pitch on the way is taken for a called strike. So 0-1 the count now to Freeland. Here's the windup, the pitch by Young. There's a ground ball hit sharply down to second baseman Jackson. Gloves it in time, throws on over to Alonso at first, and down goes Freeland for out number 2. So 2 outs now for the Orioles. Young has thrown 77 pitches and continues to hang around in this game. Dodgers only have 4 hits off of him, only 1 run. So he has pitched well enough to stay in this game. Giving up 2 walks. Chucky Robinson swings and fouls it back and out of play. 5 strikeouts by Young and 2 walks. Chucky striking out his initial at-bat as a Dodger. Coming up from AAA, there's a swing and a miss on a fastball, so the count is now 0-2. Pitch is way high for ball 1. Good point there, Fred, about the pitch count. There's a pitch swung on and fouled away. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Robinson, trying to get his first hit in the big leagues, coming up from the AAA and making his first start as a Dodger. Wading in from the right-hand side of the plate. The pitch way inside. Curveball, ball 2. So the stage is set. Orioles 6, Dodgers 1, 4th inning, 2 outs, and a 2-2 count to Robinson, the 9th hitter of the Dodger lineup. The pitch swung on, a little nubbler foul. Robinson wading in. There's a foul down the third base line, a sinker. The count remains 2-2. Two and two, the count to Robinson. There's a ground shot down the shortstop. Henderson picks it up sharply, throws over to Alonso, and down go the Dodgers in the 4th inning. The score after 4 complete innings in Los Angeles: Baltimore 6, the Dodgers 1. Unbelievable. The Dodgers competing in the AL East is tough. It's like the little teams never have a chance. Hang in there, Fred. Don't give up. The Orioles shall rise to power one day. You just got to hang around. Look how long it took the New York Knicks to finally win the title. I think the Orioles won a World Series. Let's see, after 72, let's see, Jim Palmer still. Yep, Calvin Klein's, you're right, Calvin Klein's, very good. Good job. Yep. Jim Palmer, never forget the way he had that smooth windup, the way he would pitch and just throw that ball. It was tailored textbook delivery. So for the Dodgers, they got to get back in this game if they want to have any chance. And they're certainly not doing that. They've been shut down. Jack Dreyer certainly was not the answer. And who do the Dodgers have now coming out to pitch? Can't have Dreyer come out there again. And in comes Henriquez. So Henriquez will be coming in, pitched last night. He'll be facing the Orioles' Alexander. Leading off here in the top of the 5th inning. It's a tough go for the Dodgers right now. Alexander, the bottom of the order. Alexander, Jackson, and then you go to the top of the order with Ward and Henderson. Ward and Henderson have been totally wearing out the Dodgers this afternoon. Both of those guys. Ward has 3 runs, 2 hits, and Henderson has 1 run and 2 hits himself. So that top of the order for the Orioles this afternoon has been lethal for the Dodgers. And that's why the Dodgers find themselves losing 6-1 into the 5th inning. So Eduardo Henriquez now coming in. Hard-throwing right-hand pitcher. Good point. You're right. Excuse me. The Dodgers have come accustomed to winning as of late, but they did have a long, long dry spell from the '88 series all the way up until they just started winning in 19 or 16. Took them a long time to get back to that championship. Like I say, it's circular. It'll come around, it'll go back up and back down again. So right now the Dodgers are definitely on a high, winning the last 2 World Series and being competitive the last 4 or 5 years before that. Enriquez, pitch on the way, is taken high for ball 1. So 1-1 count now to Alexander. 5th inning, Orioles 6, Dodgers 1. The pitch. Swung on, and a high fly ball hit out to Kyle Tucker in right. He's there under the sun. He's got it. Battling the sunlight, had the sunglasses down and managed to make the catch for out number 1. The Dodgers have yet to shut out the Orioles in an inning. Orioles got 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, 2 in the fourth. And now we find ourselves in the 5th. Jeremiah Jackson comes in, 0 for 2, popping out in a fielder's choice in this game. The pitch. Swung on and fouled down the third base line for strike 1, a sinker. Enriquez throwing 4 pitches. He's gotten 1 out already. He's got Jackson at 0-1. Pitch just a little outside, a slider missing for ball 1. The pitch swung on, and a high fly ball. Out goes, in comes Kyle Tucker. He's there, he's got it for out number 2 in right field. So there's now 2 outs. So Enriquez is about to do something the Dodgers have yet to do this game, and that's shut out the Orioles for an inning. Let's see. But up comes Ward, the man that's been wearing them out. A one-man machine. Ward, 3 runs, 2 hits, 1 RBI. He's walked. He's been all over the place. A one-man gang hanging in there to the plate. Outside for ball 1. So the word coming down that Will Smith will not travel on this 9-game road trip coming up for the Dodgers. So the neck injury may be a little bit more serious than initially thought. Here's a foul ball back up and out of play. So the count is now 1-1. And that may be a major reason why they did bring up Chucky Robinson to help out with the catching duties. So 1-1, the count to Ward. Enriquez looking in, gets the sign from Chucky behind the plate. The pitch is low for ball 2, a sinker just missing. So Taylor Ward may be hitting .257 with only 4 homers, but you'd think he was Willie Mays the way he's been swinging away today, hammering at the Dodgers. The pitch on the way, swung on, check swing, foul back to the backstop for strike number 2. So it's a 2-2 count. There's a great name of the past, Fernando Valenzuela. Rest in peace, Fernando. Here's the 2-2 pitch, swung on, and down he goes. Missed. 103-mile-an-hour pitch, and Enriquez gets the Orioles out in order. Can you believe that? So that'll do it for the Orioles in the top of the 5th. The score, Orioles 6, Dodgers 1. I'll be right back after this very short timeout. Okay, so back to live action. Dodgers gotta get something started now. Trailing 6-1. Maybe Henriquez pumped some life into them by coming in and shutting out the Orioles in order. And they'll be doing it with Ohtani, Pages, and Freeman. So if they're ever gonna get back in and start scoring some runs and chipping away at that 6-1 deficit, now is the time to do it. Ohtani standing in. Pitch. Taken right down the middle for strike one, and Young is still out there as we move into the fifth inning. So Young has thrown 86 pitches. This figures to be his last inning of work. Here's a pitch. It's a ground ball hit sharply down to Alonso at first. He'll do it himself, tag the base, and down goes Ohtani. So 1 out in the fifth inning, and that brings up Pages to the plate. Andy Pages coming in 0 for 2. He struck out twice this afternoon against Young. And there's a strike right away. Young getting on top of him. Happy Father's Day to all those fathers out there listening in and YouTube land. Pitch on the ways, right down the middle for called strike two. Splitter. And Young has now thrown 89 pitches. So no doubt after this inning, the Dodgers will have someone else pitching to him. There's a pitch. It's taken a high fly ball. Moving over to Tavares. It's going to land in front of him. It's going to go foul. And hustling into second base, sliding, is Pages. So nice leg work by Pages. And that goes back to the very thing I've been stressing all afternoon. There's no substitute for hustling, and that is right there what you saw. Pages, as soon as he left the batter's box, he knew he was going to leg that into a double. He knew if that ball was either going to go foul or he was going to wind up with a double. He was hustling all the way. You know, there's one thing you can no substitute for hustle, determination. Pete Rose used to dive headfirst into bases. He was the man that brought diving headfirst prominent into the 70s in baseball. Meanwhile, back to live action in today's game. A pitch is swung on and fouled away by Freddie Freeman. 1 for 2. Freeman hitting .274, but a chance to get home a run and get the Dodgers some runs to chip away at this 6-1 deficit that they're now trailing to. Meanwhile, for the Orioles in the bullpen, Grant Wolfram. He pitched briefly last night, didn't go too well for him. But today's a new day, as the Orioles demonstrated that, leading 6-1. There's a pitch swung on and missed, a fastball, 1-2. Young has now thrown 93 pitches. Keep in mind that magic number of 100 is always coddled in baseball analytics. Pitchers these days, they don't want pitching over that. There's a ground ball hit sharply down to Young. He boots it, kicks it, throws it over to Alonso for out number 2. So nice recovery by Young. He stuck with it, and he had the perfect man in the batter's box where he didn't have to rush himself. Freddie cruising down to first base, and so there's 2 outs now. And with that, Pages moves over to third, and up comes Mookie Betts. Mookie to the plate. The pitch swung on. First ball swinging. A high fly ball to Cowser in center. He's there. He's got it. And just like that, the Dodgers go 1-2. Well, they got a base hit in between, a double, and then a quick 2 outs. So the Dodgers are done. 4 batters up, and they're out. The end of 5 innings. The score, the Orioles 6. The Dodgers 1. We'll be back for the top of the 6th inning right after this. So as we get ready to move into the top of the 6th inning, the Dodgers will let Henriquez go out there and pitch his 2nd inning since he did so well in that top of the 5th inning against the Orioles, shutting them down for the first time this game. And Hernandez holding everything. And no, this is Hernandez. Jonathan Hernandez is out there now. So they went from Henriquez to Hernandez. And Jonathan Hernandez, a hard-throwing right-hander, in 9 games this year, and has pitched in 13.2 innings. So let's see what Hernandez can do. Hernandez versus Henderson. The pitch swung on. There's a first ball swinging. Sharp down to Freddie Freeman. Throws over to hustling Hernandez at first to get the out. So a nice play by Freddie Freeman, backhanding that deep into the box and at first base, and threw over to Hernandez, covering first for the out. So there's 1 out, first ball swinging, and now that'll bring up Pete Alonso. So nice teamwork by both guys covering that. So 1 pitch, 1 away. We're in the 6th. 6-1 Orioles over the Dodgers. And up comes Pete Alonso. The pitch. Whoa, wicked sinker for strike 1. 97 miles an hour. Hernandez, the pitch on the way. Swung on, and there's a blooper into right field. It'll drop in front of Kyle Tucker, and Alonso is aboard with a base hit. So Basayo now coming on. Basayo 1 for 3 with an RBI and a single this afternoon. So with Alonso at first, Basayo to the plate, taking a slider for ball 1. The pitch is taken for called strike 1, so it's a 1-1 count now by Basayo. 1-1 the count to Basayo. The pitch is way outside for ball 2. Alonso with a short lead away from first, being held on by Freeman. Two and one. The pitch low for ball 3. A slider missing, so it's now 3-1. Three balls, 1 strike to Bacero. The pitch. Ooh, taken for called strike 2. Fastball. So now the count is full. We got 1 on, 1 out, and a full count to Bacero at the plate. Freeman and Alonso having a lot of laughs at first base. And there's a bouncer to the plate, and it'll be a ball 4, and Basayo's now on first, and moving over to second will be Alonso. So there's now 2 men on, 1 out. Hernandez has already had 2 on now, so Mayo coming up. Mayo's 0 for 2 this afternoon, coming up. 1 out. Pitch on the way outside. A sinker for ball 1. One ball, no strikes, 2 on, 1 out. We're in the 6th. Orioles 6, Dodgers 1. Sinker misses badly for ball 2. Pitch, there's a high fly ball, and back is Chucky Robinson, throws his mask. He's got it right behind home plate. So there's now 2 outs, and down goes Mayo, and up comes Cowser to the plate. So with 2 outs in the 6th, Cowser coming up, center fielder. There's 2 on. Orioles continue to lead 6-1. Colton Cowser 3 for 3, solo home run and 4 RBIs. He has been a one-man gang in himself. He and Ward have come to play today. Oh and 1 the count to Cowser. Hernandez pitch. Little inside for a ball 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs. We're in the 6th. Orioles 6, Dodgers 1. The pitch swung on and missed. A slider. 1-2. So Hernandez trying to shut down the Orioles, something that Enriquez did in the 5th inning, and Hernandez trying to return the favor here in the 6th. But the Dodger bats have been asleep most of this afternoon. Let's see what you're going to do now. Hernandez, a pitch swung on by Cowser and a high fly ball. In comes Pages. He's there. He's got it for out number 3, and that'll do it in the 6th inning for the Orioles. So Hernandez shuts him down. Okay, so now the Dodgers are showing a little life at least on the mound. But is it too little? Is it too late? We'll find out in the bottom of the 6th inning right after this. Okay, so back to live action, bottom of the 6th inning. Let's see, the Dodgers got Kyle Tucker coming up, Ward, and then Freeland. So let's see what Tucker can do. Actually, Max Muncy is leading off. And then comes Kyle Tucker. Here's a first pitch swinging Max Muncy and a high fly ball. Henderson's there. He's got it for out number 1. Right away, first ball swinging. And now comes Kyle Tucker up. So 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning, and Grant Wolfram is in. Wolfram pitched last night, didn't go too well, but he gets a first ball swinging Max Muncy out. So that's good in his favor. 24 strikeouts, 3 walks, has not allowed a home run. Kyle Tucker up to the plate. The pitch. Low and away for a ball 1. So Tucker's 0 for 2 this afternoon, hitting .236. His average continues to slide down. Waiting in. The pitch. Swung on. There's a shot down to Alonso at first. He's going to do it himself for out number 2. So 2 outs. And the Dodgers now look like they're pretty much content to hop on the plane and go to Minneapolis and take on the Twins Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Don't look like there's much fight in them. When you go up there swinging, first ball swinging and half jogging to first base. So Alex Call now coming up. Call will be pinch hitting for Ryan Ward, and he'll stay in left field. So 2 outs in the 6th inning. And Call is now in. Pitch is taken right down the middle for called strike 1. Oh and 1 the count to Call. Orioles 6, Dodgers 1. We are in the 6th with 2 outs. Swung on and missed, and Dodgers are now down to their last strike in this inning. Dodgers are making it really easy for Wolfram, not even making him work. He's only thrown 5 pitches. He's gotten 2 outs, and he's got a man 0 and 2. Let's see what Call does here. Swung on, fouled back and out of play. The count remains 0 and 2. Dodgers trailing 6-1 to the Orioles. We are in the 6th inning, 2 outs. 0 and 2 count to Call, who's pinch hitting for Ward. Call will remain in the game and play left field. Here's a high fly ball. Causer moving over in center. He's got it for out number 3, and down go the Dodgers in the 6th inning. The score after 6 complete innings in Los Angeles: the Orioles 6, the Dodgers 1, and happy smiling faces all around for the Orioles. So, as I said, after this game, Dodgers head on over to Minnesota to take on the Twins for 3 games. And then they get a day off, a much-deserved day off. Looked like they can go for a day off. They're having a day off today, or an off day, however you want to put that. Thursday, they're off. Then they come back to Southern California, to San Diego, to play the Padres for 3 games, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then they go to Vegas, take on the A's there on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So that's a quick look at what the Dodgers got going in the next week coming up. But for right now, they just don't seem to have it for whatever reason. Not sure what is going on with them. They don't seem to have the spark and the flair. For whatever reason, they lost their mojo somewhere along the line. I mean, they had to win in dramatic fashion in the bottom of the 9th inning against the Orioles on Friday. Then last night they came close to winning but fell a buck short, losing 3-2. And today they've just come out there sleepwalking through this game, as evident as the score of 6-1. Orioles look pretty content with their 6 runs, 10 hits this afternoon. They have played really well. And let's see here. Dodgers 1 run, 5 hits. So for Emmett Sheehan, he was not the answer today. He's had better days. And he just, there's a pitch on the way taken for ball 1, a slider. So Hernandez is out there for his 2nd inning of work. Okay. So they gave Henriquez 1 inning of work. He got the Orioles out in order. Then Hernandez comes out and shuts them down in the 6th. And now they got Hernandez out there for the 7th inning. And he's got a 1-1 count to Taveras. Taveras has had a rough series in himself. He's 0 for 3 today. had a few fielding blunders Friday and Saturday. A couple of rough goes out there in the bottom of the 9th inning with 2 outs. Both times he was snake bitten. One time he got away with it, the other time he didn't. And that was the outcome of the game. So the pitch, right down the middle for strike 2. 2-2 the count now to Taveras. Pitch is low and inside for ball 3. So now the count is full to Taveras. Three and two, full count to Taveras. Called strike 3, and down he goes, caught on a slider. So a rough afternoon continues for Taveras. He's 0 for 4 as he takes the K on that one. And that's his 3rd strikeout. So not only is he 0 for 4, but he's struck out 3 times. But now, on to bigger and better things, comes Alexander to the plate. 1 out in the 7th. Pitch to Alexander. First ball swinging. It's a high fly ball. Pages moving over. It'll drop in between him. And Tucker hustling around first and into second base with a double is Alexander. So Alexander's aboard. And now comes Jackson to the plate. Nice hustle play by Pages in the outfield. He just couldn't get to that. If you can play the if game all you want, but if Tucker gave half of the effort and hustle that Pages displays out there, that would have been an out. He would have caught that ball. Anyways, back to live action. 1 out, 1 on, 6-1 Orioles lead, and it's a strike to Jackson to the plate. Jeremiah Jackson, 0 for 3, had a fly out in the 5th inning, hitting .253 in the year. Hitting in the 9th spot today. Here's a pitch swung on, and there's a shot to Tucker. He's cruising out there to pick it up. Meanwhile, scoring from second base is the Orioles. And now Jackson's at second base. Alexander, that was, scoring. And Jackson steams into second base. And Tucker kind of just cruising along. The ball kind of dies out there in right field. He picks it up, and Jackson was steaming into second. So really nothing that Tucker could have done realistically on that one, because that was going to be a double no matter what. So there's a run. It's now 7-1, the Orioles. So the Orioles are back to scoring after just taking a little break in the 5th and 6th inning with no runs. They're back at it again. Taylor Ward to the plate. The one man that's been wearing out the Dodgers, with Cowser and him. There's a pitch taken for called strike 1, a sinker. Ward's got a man at second base. He may drive him home. 7-1 Dodgers trail. We're in the 7th inning. The pitch is a sinker. Great point. Andrew, can't understand why they wasted the money on Kyle Tucker. I have to admit, I didn't really watch him when he played in Chicago, but it's hustle. It comes down to hustle. I cannot stress it enough. He just doesn't seem to hustle. That's it. I'm not so much talking about him not delivering at the plate, but it's the nonchalantly, like he's already a first ballot Hall of Famer and he's just cruising in, playing his last few months out before he goes into Cooperstown. That's not the case. What are you doing? $240 million in 4 years? Are you kidding me? Anyways, this ball's now a 3-2 count. Ward at the plate. Count is full, 3-2 to Ward. 1 out. We're in the 7th inning. You got to wonder how long the Dodgers will stay with Tucker and if there'll be some fights behind the scenes, because he's just not hustling. He's not a hustle guy like Manny Machado. There's a strike 3 and down goes Ward. So that was a good punch out by Hernandez, recovering on that. And up comes now Henderson. He's been a one-man gang in himself also. So the three guys that have worn out the Dodgers today have been Ward, Henderson, and Cowser. Let's see what Henderson's going to do right now at the plate. 2 for 4 with a double and a run. Gunnar Henderson. That'd be a great name for a quarterback, wouldn't it? Here we go. Pitch on the way is taken high for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Orioles 7, Dodgers 1 in the 7th inning. A man at second. It's taken outside for ball 1. Here we go. 2-0 pitch is taken inside for ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. You got a base available. I guess they could put him there, and they got 2 outs already. And he gets that walk. So now there's 2 on, 2 outs, 7th inning. And up comes Pete Alonso. So they gave him the intentional walk. Alonso has 2 walks. Speaking of walks, there's a swing and a miss by Alonso. 2 outs, 2 on, 7th inning, 7-1 Baltimore. Seems like the Baltimore's averaged 1 run an inning. Here's the pitch. Outside. And Alonso hit that big home run Friday. Was about ready to unload here in the Dodgers, and would not surprise me a bit. Alonso waiting in the pitch, and there we goes, a high fly ball. Back goes Tucker to the wall, to the warning track. It's gone. Can you believe that? 10 runs, and Pete Alonso's nailing it in, doing a little sign as he runs around the bases. I guess it might be a birdie sign. Not sure what that sign is. If any O's fans out there can tell me, let me know. But that's the sign he gave as he rounded second base, 398 feet to right field and over the wall, and it's now 10-1. The Dodgers have mailed this game in, and so there you go, 10-1, and it's gone. So with 2 outs now in the 7th, the Dodgers have seen better days. Mama said there'll be days like this. The old song in the 60s says it. And it's coming true for the Dodgers today, as Balacero will check in, but they're going to also have a pitching change as Dave Roberts is out there now. He's seen enough. With a brief break in the action, the score now reads the Orioles 10, the Dodgers 1. So for all the Dodger haters out there, you can bask in this thing and see what the big money has gotten you in a 10-1 thrashing against the Orioles today, a team that is 36-42 on the year. The Orioles are looking like the old Orioles of the 70s when they had Earl Weaver calling the shots and all those Hall of Famers around on the field. It's been a rough game. It happens, and they'll tell you that's just baseball. You never know. The old adage goes, when you score a lot of runs one game, the next game you'll struggle to get runs. Let's see who the Orioles play tomorrow. Any Oriole fan out there knows who are the Orioles playing tomorrow? That's the team. That's the trend that goes around baseball. When you score a lot one game, you'll struggle the next time up. Let's see. In the middle of a pitching change here. Let's see. Okay. Oh, the Orioles. Nice. So the Orioles have a nice trip down to the 5 freeway to take on the Angels tomorrow. Tomorrow the Angels will be hosting the Orioles. So that's pretty good. That will be a good matchup. There's a pitch low and all the way to the backstop by McDermott. So McDermott pitching in. First pitch is low and all the way to the backstop. Balacero had to do a little foot dance to get out of the way of that. So nobody on, thanks to the Alonso 3-run home run. Parked it into right field. It's now 10-1. 2 outs in the 7th. And Alonso's flexing his muscles in the dugout for the Orioles. 2 balls, no strikes. McDermott's pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. 2-1 on the slider. Balacero 1-3. Pitch is taken for a called strike. 2 on the cutter. So McDermott, 27-year-old, hard-throwing right-hander, facing Balacero, the man who made a lot of money in the offseason, signing a big contract to play for the Orioles. The pitch swung on and fouled away. Slider. Two and two pitch. Swung on and fouled back and out of play. Seven to 1, Dodgers trailing. No, 10-1. Check that, 10-1. Don't want to cheat the Orioles any 3 runs that they just hit by Alonso. There's a swing on a high fly ball hit out there to call in left field. He's there. He's got it. And the Dodgers mercifully get out of that 7th inning, giving up 4 runs in the inning on the big 3-run home run by Pete Alonso. The score after 6.5 innings in Los Angeles, the Orioles 10, the Dodgers 1. Dodgers got a lot of work. They hope to come back in this game. But between you and me, I think they've pretty much mailed it in. Their heads are in Minnesota, thinking about hopping on that plane and getting to the Twin City. So for the Dodgers coming up, they'll have Freeland, Robinson, and Ohtani in the bottom of the 7th inning. So it's been quite a game for Robinson, his first Dodger game behind the plate catching, and he's seen his pitchers just blow up and give up 10 runs. So what a debut, a one he won't soon forget. He's 0 for 2 at the plate, and he has a chance to come up. He'll be coming up in this inning. So Wolfram will be pitching to the Dodgers in the bottom of the 7th inning, to Alex Freeland, to Robinson, and to Ohtani. So it'll be a happy bus ride down the 5 freeway to Anaheim for these Orioles tomorrow as they take on the Angels in a 3-game homestand for the Angels. Yeah, let's see. $10 to 1. If you're following the Orioles after they finish playing the 3-game homestand in or 3-game road trip in Anaheim, they then move on back east, way back east near where they're at, to take on the Nationals. So that'll be a short cruise after they finish that series to go home. So they'll take the Nationals. They'll be hosting the Nationals. Check that. They'll be hosting the Nationals after the Angel series. And the pitch on the way is a ball 1 to Freeland. 0 for 1 with a walk. Alex Freeland. The pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. If you're an Orioles fan, be proud. Now is the time to be cocky, to show that a small market team can beat a big market team. Anything can happen on any given day in baseball, evident of this score right here, 10-1. Freeland waiting in, 2 balls and 1 strike. 10-1, Dodgers trailing to the O's. It was a swing and a miss at a sinker. We're in the 7th inning, no outs. Waiting on deck is Robinson. Two and two the count to Freeland. Wolfham looks down, the pitch. Swung on, there's a ground ball hit sharply down to Jackson at second, throws over to Pete Alonso at first, and down goes Freeland at first for out number 1. Up comes Chucky Robinson, his debut as a Dodger behind the plate. He's 0 for 2, he struck out, he grounded out. He's got zeros all across the board. No average, no home runs, no RBIs. And there's a ground ball hit sharply down to Jackson at second, flips on over to Alonso at first, and down goes Robinson, first ball swinging. So there's word that Teoscar Hernandez may be coming back soon to play for the Dodgers in his rehab assignment. He's moving right along. And it looks like Edman's going to be coming up for Shohei. Is he? Now you have to wonder, has the swollen knee come back for Ohtani, and why is Edman in there? Let's see if he's first ball swinging. He sure is. First ball swinging, ground ball down to the third baseman. Throws it on over to first for the out, and down go the Dodgers. 1, 2, 3, little to no effort at all. The score after 7 complete innings, the Baltimore Orioles 10, the Los Angeles Dodgers 1. I'll be right back with the 8th inning right after this. Okay, so as we get ready to move into the 8th inning, Dodgers look like they're pretty much waved the white flag. You could tell whenever they go up their first ball swinging, as the Dodgers did in that inning. They're pretty much just in a hurry to get out of here. Get out of the hot sun, hop on that night, take a shower, get on the plane, and take a nap and fly on over to Minnesota. Meanwhile, McDermott out there for his 2nd inning of work. Trying to find out about McDermott. Let's see, where is he from? How long has he been around? What's his age? Height, weight? Can't find him on the roster. Nothing to be found. Anyways, there's a high fly ball hit by Mayo. There's a shortstop, Betts, waiting. A major league pop-up, and he gets it for the out. So that was a big pop-up for out number 1. So 1 out in the 8th inning for the Orioles. And up comes the center fielder, Cowser. He's been wearing out the Dodgers. 3 for 4, 2 singles, a home run, 4 RBIs. Cowser has been sticking it to the Dodgers. You could have just sent Cowser, Henderson, and Ward up there. Those 3 guys could have beat up on the Dodgers with all the runs it produced this afternoon. Meanwhile, the pitch is taken for ball 1 to Cowser. McDermott's pitch on the way is swung on. There's a line shot down to Freeman. He's going to... Actually, they're going to... So they got Rushing now playing first base for Freddie Freeman. And there was out number 1. Out number 2. Check that, out number 2. See, I'm even starting to be lackadaisical in this. Mailing it in. Not putting much effort in as on myself in. Have to count myself in on the air too if I'm going to be calling out others. Meanwhile, here's a guy that's had a tough afternoon. Taveras, first ball swinging, fouling it away. He's 0 for 4. He struck out 3 times. So he is the only man for the Orioles on the outside of the candy store looking in, as everybody else has enjoyed some runs, some production, some base hits, runs scored, done something except for Taveras. But he'll enjoy the victory just like they will. Here's a shot. There he goes. Taveras is now on base. It's going to go down to the right field, picked up by Tucker. A wild throw in as he cruising into third base. And thank you very much, Kyle Tucker. He just managed to turn a double into a triple for Taveras. So if you're struggling, you're not doing well, just hit the ball to right field, and Tucker will extend your whatever it is hit. A single into a double into a triple. He is a star maker out there in right field. Thank you very much. $240 million for 4 years, Kyle Tucker. Meanwhile, Dodgers trail 10-1, 8th inning, 2 outs, and we got Taveras now at third base and Alexander to the plate. McDermott waded in the pitch inside for ball 1. Dodgers trailing 10-1. Here's the pitch, the 1-0 pitch way inside for ball 2, a fastball. So Taveras can now enjoy the rest of the guys with a barley pop, a brew, or whatever he wants to call it after this game. Enjoy it as they will bask in this victory. 2-1 the count now to Alexander. 10-1 Orioles, taking it to the Dodgers. We're in the 8th inning. Man at third base. 2 outs in the 8th. The pitch is low. Ball 3. So 3 balls and 1 strike. McDermott's pitch is a high fly ball hit out to Colin right center. It's left field. It's gone. Home run. So McDermott has been baptized, and Alexander holds his hands high above his head, rounding the bases. It's now 12-1 in favor of the Orioles. Unbelievable. A happy Father's Day to all in Baltimore. Enjoy this one. That ball traveled 390 feet, and Blaze Alexander can enjoy that ride down the 5 freeway to Anaheim with that home run. 12-1, and Robinson is beside himself behind home plate on a hot Sunday afternoon, sweating this one out. Pitch on the way is taken for called strike 1 to Jackson. So here's a pitch now, strike 2 to Jackson. 0-2 the count now to Jackson. 12-1 Orioles. There's a pitch way outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Unbelievable. The Orioles. Pitch on the way, swung on. It was a high, lazy fly ball out to the lazy one in right field. Tucker will make the catch, and that'll do it for the Dodgers. For the Orioles in the 8th inning. The score, as the Orioles score yet another 2 runs in the 8th. Orioles 12, Dodgers 1. Incredible. Take a look at this Orioles lineup, right? The line for this game: 12 runs, 15 hits, and no errors. The Dodgers 1 run, 5 hits, and no errors. The Orioles have scored 2 runs in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, 2 in the fourth. They didn't get anything in the 5th and 6th, but then they rebounded in the 7th with 4 runs and 2 runs in the 8th inning to account for their 12 runs. So to all you Oriole fans out there, congratulations. You've stuck it to the big money market team in Los Angeles, and you'll win the series too. So no matter what happens, you have got bragging rights on Los Angeles this afternoon. The 2-time world champion, that will be the headline. 2-time world champion Dodgers fall to the 37-42 Orioles, 12-1, and lose the series. Okay, so for the Dodgers, the bottom of the 9th inning, let's see how fast, bottom of the 8th inning we move. Let's see how fast the Dodgers go swinging at first ball pitches here. You got Pages, you got Rushing, who's now in for Freeman at first base, and Betts. The old adage, when you want to hop and just get out of here, out of town in a hurry, you go up there first ball swinging. I'd be interested to see this one. Pages will be coming up. He's got 2 strikeouts, 1 hit in the afternoon. And this is the big hurt that the Dodgers have been taken back to the old woodshed and beaten up pretty good on by the Orioles today. The 36-42 Orioles are looking like the 27 Yankees this afternoon. Pitch on the way is low for ball 1 to Pages. So Pages, much to his credit, was not swinging at the first pitch. 1 ball, no strikes. They got a new pitcher in there, Aiken. The pitch is swung on and fouled away. Basayo took a chunk out of him on the foul tip. Pages rubbing his shoulder, telling him to hang in there. You got 12 runs. What are you feeling hurt about? Shake it off. Pages 1 for 3 today with a double. Pitch is high to Pages for ball 1. Ball 2. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Orioles 12, Dodgers 1. Pitches inside for ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. And Dodger fans have long left this place. It's almost an empty house. It wasn't too full to really start with the game, and it's way empty now after a 12-1 score. Pitch swung on and fouled back out of play. Fastball makes it 3-2. So Pages is hanging in there tough, showing some good pride, not cheating himself at the plate. The pitch, just a little outside for ball 4. So Pages is aboard with a walk. Good job, way to work the count. And up comes Rushing to the plate. Rushing, a late fill-in for Freddie Freeman at first. Rushing usually behind the plate, now enjoying not having to put on the gear and run out there. He's at first base. Pitch on the way, check swing, foul. Dodgers trailing 12-1. They fell behind early and never really could catch up. They gave it a good fight in the first inning. After the Orioles got their first 2 runs, there's a strike to Rushing. It's 0-2 now. After the Orioles got their first 2 runs in the first, Dodgers scored 1 run, and then that's it. Orioles then just pecked away, and bombed them late. And that's how we are, 12-1 right now. Atkins' pitch on the way, swung on and fouled away. It's an 0-2 count to Rushing. No outs, Pages at first base. We're in the 8th inning. There's an old saying, nothing can humble you more than being taken out to the old back of the woodshed. Let's see how the Dodgers respond tomorrow in Minnesota. Here's a pitch high. They're checking over to first, no swing on that check swing. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Dodgers have been thoroughly humbled in today's game. Trailing 12-1 in the 8th. Pitch swung on and missed. And it's now 1-2. We're in the 8th inning, no outs. Orioles 12, Dodgers 1. Pitch low for ball 2. Waiting on deck is Mookie Betts. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled away and out of play. Two and 2 the count to Rushing. Orioles 12, Dodgers 1. We're in the 8th inning. The pitch swung on. There's a shot down the line and in the foul. Foul ball. So it looked promising when it left the bat, but it just hooked foul. Just missing it. Okay, so now back to live action. Rushing to the plate. Count remains 2-2. The pitch swung on and a high fly ball. In comes the shortstop. He's there. He's got it. At short is Alexander for out number 1. Check that, Henderson, the shortstop. So Henderson makes the catch for the out, and up comes Betts. 1 out in the 8th inning. Mookie 1 for 3 this afternoon. The pitch taken for called strike 1. So Pages, lone man at first base, waiting there, trying to come home. The pitch, strike called, an 88-mile-an-hour slider, and the count is now 0-2. So credit to Betts, he's not up there first ball swinging. Now on deck is Miguel Rojas. Looks like he'll be pinch hitting for Muncy. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Betts, 1 out. There's a high fly ball hit by Betts. In comes the center fielder, Cowser. He's there, he's waiting, he's got it for out number 2. So 2 outs now for the Dodgers. 12-1 Orioles lead in the 8th inning. 2 outs, and the cup comes Miguel Rojas.
Ladies and gentlemen, now batting for the Dodgers, number 72, Miguel Rojas.
So as Miguel Rojas gets ready to check in, Dodgers trailing 12-1. Pages at first base, 2 outs. I'd really like to see Kyle Tucker come up there one more time. He will, the bottom of the 9th inning. His pitch on the way is taken high for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch outside for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Orioles 12, Dodgers 1. The windup, the pitch swung on, and a high fly ball. In comes the third baseman, Alexander. He's there, he's got it, and down go the Dodgers in the 8th inning. So that'll do it. Dodgers get Pages on first and with a walk, and they just leave him there. So the score after 8 complete innings, the Orioles 12, Dodgers 1. And I'm stunned, shocked. No action happening here in this game. No life. Be interesting to tune in to David Vassay and Dodger Talk to hear how many fans go off on that one. I might even entertain calling up, see if I can get through. And I've always heard that the best time to listen to Vassay is after a Dodger loss and hear the Dodger fans lose their mind. But one has to wonder, will they in a 12-1 game, because everything went wrong. But we'll find out here. We come into the 9th inning. And for the 9th inning, leading off for the Orioles, in place of Ward, will be Siri. So Siri will come in. That'll be Henderson and then Alonso. Orioles 12, Dodgers 1. Oriole fans, rejoice wherever you may be. It has come up a beautiful day for the Oriole fans. A glorious day. Thrashing the Dodgers 12-1. Okay, so a look ahead of the Dodgers. That, like I said, they'll be flying out to Minnesota for 3 games. And now they got Miguel Rojas up there pitching. They've just worn out everything, and Miguel's up there, throws a lazy ball up there for ball 1. And he's just throwing away. Oh my, look at Miguel Rojas up there. He's 50 miles an hour he's pitching. 2 balls and no strikes. Looks like he's throwing batting practice. Siri just looks at a ball go for called strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Miguel Rojas on the mound. The pitch. There's a shot down to this first baseman, Freddie Rushing. Check that. He'll do it himself and record the out for out number 1. If Miguel Rojas gets out of this inning by not allowing a run, unbelievable. He's just tossing that ball up there at 50 miles an hour. Okay. Let's see. Miguel Rojas looks in, not even really going to a windup. Throwing the pitch on the waist for called strike 1. Just a big loop. And Henderson up there looks at a strike 1. I don't think the Orioles can believe their eyes that the ball's just looping up there. Here's another one. They loop it. He swings at it way out of the strike zone out there in left field, making a catch his call for out number 2. Unbelievable. Rojas is the hero of the World Series, is now pitching on the mound for the Dodgers. And the Orioles don't know what to think of it or how to handle it. Let's see if he can retire the Orioles in order right here. Pitch on the way is a shot. It's going to be out the call. He's going to catch it in left field, and down go the Orioles. 1, 2, 3. Can you believe that? Miguel Rojas throws 7 pitches and gets the Orioles out. Well, that might not be a big thing in normal cases. This is the Orioles, who've gotten 15 hits, 12 runs in the afternoon, and Miguel Rojas goes out there looking like Sandy Koufax on 7 pitches, retiring the Orioles. Oh well, anything can happen on this wacky Sunday afternoon in Los Angeles when a 36-42 team comes in and thrashes you, puts up 12 runs. You know it's not a normal Sunday afternoon of baseball, and that's exactly what the Orioles have done to the Dodgers, just taking it to them from all facets of the game. Let me give a little bongo solo for Miguel Rojas and his 7 pitches, retiring the Orioles out in order. That one goes out to you, Miguel Rojas. Nicely done. Even give him a gong here. Empty the bases on all of my toys here. So, as the Dodgers now come up the bottom of the 9th inning, let's see who they'll be sending up there to try to make something of this. Here they go. They got Tucker, Kyle Tucker coming up with Call and then Freeland. I'm going to, not a betting man, but I'm going to bet a big wager on this one. 50,000 mythical dollars that Kyle Tucker will be swinging on the first pitch. Let's see if I'm right. He's going to be first ball swinging. He wants to get out of this game, get back to the clubhouse, count his $240 million, and fly on that plane to Minnesota. Let's see. Let's see if I'm right here. First ball swinging Kyle Tucker. Let's go. So, Orioles 12, Dodgers 1, and up comes Kyle Tucker. I guarantee you he is going to be first ball swinging. He's 0 for 3 on the afternoon. Grounded out in the 6th. The nonchalant, lazy type of slow demeanor to the plate, waiting in. And the pitch on the way. Oh, he didn't first ball swing. Oh my. So it's not a very good call on my part. There's a strike. So he didn't first ball swing. My apologies to Tucker, as he didn't second ball swing either. That one's way outside with a slider. And the count is now 1 ball and 1 strike to Kyle Tucker. 12-1 Orioles, bottom of the 9th inning. And the pitch swung on and fouled away with a slider. It's 1-2. The 1-2 pitch is taken outside for ball 2. Fastball missing, so 2-2 count. So Tucker is working it. He's working the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We're in the 9th. Pitch is low for ball 3. So much to my chagrin, Tucker is not up there swinging and whacking at everything. He's making the pitcher Atkin work. There's a swing and a foul ball out of play. Orioles 12, Dodgers 1. If you're tuning in late and you're a Dodger fan, thank your lucky stars, for the Dodgers have been thrashed in this game. Here's the 3-2 pitch, swung on and fouled back and out of play. Orioles scored 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, 2 in the fourth, nothing in the 5th and 6th innings, but they made up for it in the 7th inning, scoring 4, 2 runs in the 8th. Finally, Miguel Rojas shut them down in order in the 9th. Here's a high fly ball, and Alexander, the third baseman, will come up behind the pitcher's mound to make the catch for out number 1. And up comes Call. 1 out in the 9th inning. Orioles, 12 runs, 15 hits. The Dodgers, 1 run. They got that in the first inning, and then their bats went to sleep for the rest of the game. 5 hits and no errors. Alex Call, a late change in the substitution for the Dodgers, left field, coming in for Ward. He's 0 for 1. Teoscar Hernandez, as I said earlier, it was reported he will be joining the Dodgers shortly from his injury. Pitch is swung on and fouled away. So it's 0-2 the count. 1 out in the 9th. Dodgers trail the Orioles 12-1. Dodgers down to their last 2 outs. On deck is Alex Freeland, second baseman. Here's the pitch by Atkins, high for ball 1. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch swung on. There's a ground ball hit sharply down to the third baseman, Alexander. He guns it on over to the first base, and he's got it for out number 2. Dodger Stadium panning around it, looking like a ghost town now. Hardly anybody in the stadium. There may be more people in the pavilion and out in left field and right field than in the entire stadium. We're in the 9th inning, 2 outs, and up comes Alex Freeland. 0 for 2 in the afternoon. The pitch, high, but he's called strike 1. Dodgers aren't even going to challenge that. They do have a challenge left, but why challenge when you're down 12-1 and just get on out of here. Pitch on the way, swung on and fouled back and out of play, and a changeup, and it's now 0-2. After this game, the Dodgers head on over to Minnesota for 3 games to take on the Twins. Then they get a day off on Thursday. Then they go to San Diego from Minnesota to take on the Padres. There's a swing and a miss, and down goes Freeland and the Dodgers, and that'll more than do it. So here's the final score: Orioles 12 runs, 15 hits, and no errors. The Dodgers 1 run, 5 hits, and no errors. Thank you so much for tuning into the broadcast. Sincerely appreciate it. You have yourself, all of you out there, a tremendous good evening to you wherever you may be, and a happy Father's Day to those fathers out there as well. Final score: Dodgers lose 12-1. Tomorrow they'll be in Minnesota taking on the Twins for a 4:30 start in Los Angeles, 6:30 start in Minnesota. Thank you so much for the broadcast. Enjoying it. Have yourself a great evening to you. Goodbye from Dodger Stadium. The final score once again: Orioles 12, Dodgers 1. Good night now.